everyone. Today we're going to be doing a camp favorite and classic activity, tie-dye. We're so excited for you guys at home to be doing this activity, and we can't wait to see what you create. So to get started, we're going to want to gather our supplies. You're going to want a large bucket, your soda ash, some water, your Pine Tree Camp t-shirt or any other material you care to tie-dye, some gloves. These are the most important. Don't forget your gloves. Your clear bottle, your individually packaged dyes, some rubber bands, and some plastic bags. You're also going to want a nice clear, clean space to work, or a space you don't mind getting dirty. Today we're going to be working outside. So to get started, we already sent you a pre-washed camp shirt. The next step is you're going to want to soak the shirt in soda ash and water for 20 minutes. Once it's soaked for 20 minutes, you're going to want to take out your shirt and wring it out, as you want your shirt to be damp before you tie that. While you wait for this to sit, you can move on to preparing your dye bottle. For this, I recommend asking for some assistance, as this can be a little tricky, but I'm going to have Kat help me today. For this step, I'm going to use a paper filter that I created. I cut a circle and folded it, and then I cut the bottom. I'm going to place it in the bottle and have Kat hold it for me. I'm then going to cut my dye package on the corner, and I'm going to dump it into the filter. This step might take a moment and some assistance. Oh, and don't forget your gloves. You also want to wear your gloves during this part.
You might need to move the paper filter around too to get all the powder in.
Alright, as you can see, it's a little messy, so just be careful. Next, you're going to want to add your water. You can also use your filter to do this. But I'm also working outside, and I don't mind cleaning this up after. I then want to put the cap on and shake well and mix. Right here would be a good time to pause the video, and that way you can get this all prepared and clean up any messes you've made.
So my favorite method of tie-dye is the spiral. So what you're going to do is, again, make sure your shirt is on a flat surface, and you can pick any point that you want to be the center of the spiral. I'm going to put mine right in the center, and you're just going to pinch up a bit of the shirt, and you're going to start spinning it. You could also use a fork to do this as well if you wanted to make it a little easier. Then once you have the shirt all spiraled up, you're going to add your rubber bands. For this one, I'd recommend adding at least 4, but you can do as many as you'd like. And my shirt is ready to dye. Alright, so now that we have all of our dye created, the next step is to get your shirt ready. So the good thing about tie-dye is there are so many different ways that you can do it. We have some examples that we've given, and we're going to show you a few different ways. And also on the written instructions that you've been given in the box, there is a link where you can look up even more ways to try on your own. So the first way that we're going to show you is stripes, and Kaylee's going to demonstrate that. So with every step, it's always important to make sure you have your wet shirt flat on a surface that you wouldn't mind getting a little messy. So Kaylee's going to start by folding it the long way. And again, the cool thing about tie-dye is there's really no way you can mess it up. And once she's got it folded that way, she's gonna then fold it in half, and she's gonna start adding rubber bands. And the rubber bands are going to leave a spot that's white or has not as much dye. So you can add as little or as many as you'd like, and the tighter they are, the more white the space is going to be. Alright, and Kaylee's shirt is ready to dye. Alright, so now that your dye is mixed, your shirts are ready, now's for the fun part, we get to dye our shirts. So again, make sure you're wearing those gloves or this can get really messy on your hands. And you're going to take the cap off of your dye, and then you can start. So for the one that I have laid out right in front of me, I'm just going to drizzle some on. And again, you can make any designs or patterns you want. And Kaylee is going to decorate her striped shirt. And for anything that's folded with rubber bands, you'll want to make sure you get into all the folds of the shirt. So Kaylee's going to open that up and get in there, so that way she can have more dye on the insides. And while we have multiple colors out here ready for us, you'll only have one bottle of dye with you, so you'll want to, when you're done with the first color, you'll want to rinse out the bottle and then repeat the step of mixing your dye for the second color. Alright. So, and then what I'm going to show from my spiral is that if you wanted to, instead of mixing your dye in the bottle, you could just mix your dye in a bucket with water, so that way you could just dip your shirt in. So I'm just going to take my shirt, and I'm going to dip it in my bucket of dye. And this one's yellow. So it's going to come out all one color, but you could also mix colors. And once your shirt is ready, you're going to want to take your shirt and put it into a plastic bag. You could also use a shopping bag that you might have at home. So I'm just going to put mine right in here. And zip it up, and you'll want to leave it in the bag for 12 to 24 hours before you get ready to do the next step.
Alright, so now that it's been 12 to 24 hours, you're going to want to go ahead and wash your shirt. I recommend moving to your sink and even asking for assistance if needed. So to start, you're going to want to take your gloves, make sure your gloves are on. Take your shirt out of your bag and remove the rubber bands.
You could also cut the rubber bands too.
Once the rubber bands are removed, you're going to want to rinse your shirt under the water, preferably cold, until the water begins to run clear. This may take a few minutes, so just be patient and just wait till you can no longer see the dye. Once that is done, you can go and put your shirt in your washer machine on the cold rinse cycle, preferably by itself, and just let it do its thing. And then once that's done, you can either air dry or put it in the dryer. And then you can enjoy your brand new tie-dye Pine Tree Camp shirt.
Alright, so one of my favorite parts about camp is being able to see everyone's tie-dye shirts. So to bring that part of camp to you, we ask that you take a picture of you and your tie-dye shirt and share that with us either by message or tag us on Facebook or Instagram at Pine Tree Camp. I have some friends here that are modeling their tie-dye shirts. Thank you guys for joining us.